My name is Anna. I am 32 years old. I am writing this because I want other women to learn from my mistake. I want them to see the truth before it's too late. Sometimes we destroy our own happiness and blame others. That's what I did. And now I live with the pain of losing someone who once loved me deeply. I met my husband in United States when I was very young. We were best friends. We did everything together. We talked for hours, walked everywhere, and shared our dreams. I waited for him while he was in college. I believed in him. He worked hard and finally got a job. After that, our families met and agreed we should marry. It was a simple but happy wedding. I felt lucky. I thought my life was perfect. Soon, we had a son. He is 7 years old now. He is my joy and my light. At that time, my husband worked a lot. He was tired, but he tried his best to be a good father and husband. Still, he had one problem. He was short-tempered. He got angry easily. Sometimes he shouted, but he never hurt me. He never touched me in a bad way. He just lost his temper quickly. That was his weakness. And I had mine too. But I didn't know it yet. I had pride. Too much pride. I didn't want to feel small. I didn't want him to think I was weak. I wanted to show him that he could not control me. That was where things started going wrong. Every time we argued, I would pack my bags and go to my family's house. I would cry in front of my sisters and tell them my side of the story. They always believed me. They never asked what I had done. They would call my husband and shout at him. They would say bad things and defend me. At home, my husband stayed quiet. He didn't know what to say. He was always shocked at how fast I left. He didn't understand why I didn't try to fix things. I didn't want divorce. I just wanted to prove a point. I wanted him to fear losing me. Sometimes I even said, "If you want, you can divorce me." I didn't mean it, but I said it many times. I said it in anger. I said it to win. But words can hurt. And some words break hearts. Then one day, I went too far. I pushed him again with my words. I called him weak. I told him he was nothing. I said, "Go ahead. Hit me if you are a man." That day, something changed. His face looked dark. He slapped me. Only once. Then he opened the door and told me to leave. I was shocked. I stood there, frozen. I never thought he would raise his hand. I ran out crying. I went to my family. My sisters were angry. They said, "This is enough. We are calling the police." I was still crying. I said yes. I felt hurt, but I also felt powerful. I thought I had won. My husband was taken to the police station. He spent the night there. People looked at me with pity. They thought I was a victim. But deep inside, I knew I was not completely innocent. I had hurt him with my words many times. I had pushed him. I had used my pride like a knife. I had embarrassed him in front of his own family. The next day, his family came to my house. They brought him along. He looked tired. His eyes were red. He knelt down and said sorry. He begged me to take back the case. He said he was sorry. He said he lost control. He said he had never been violent before. His mother cried. His sister held my hand and said, "Please forgive him. This is not who he is." I looked at him. I saw his pain. I saw his shame. And for the first time, I saw the damage I had done too. So I dropped the case. We went back home together. Things were quiet for a while. He tried to be gentle. He bought me small gifts. He helped with the baby. We even laughed sometimes. I thought maybe we could fix our marriage, but I had not changed. Not really. I still had pride. One small argument happened. He said something about money. I got angry. I packed my bags again. I left. I didn't even explain much. I just left. He stayed in the house alone. I stayed with my family. I didn't tell them the full story. I made it look like he was the problem again. 2 days later, I got a call from a friend. She said, "Your husband is in the hospital." My heart dropped. I stood up. I wanted to go see him, but my sisters stopped me. They said, "Don't go. He is lying. He wants to get your attention. If you go now, he wins." I sat down. I cried inside, but I listened to them. I didn't go. I didn't call. I didn't check on him. He stayed in the hospital for 1 week. When he came back home, I stayed with my family. I waited. I thought he would call me and beg me to return, but he didn't. Then, one afternoon, I got a letter. It was from the court. He wanted a divorce. My hand shook. I stared at the paper. I didn't believe it. I never thought he would take that step. My pride told me to stay strong. My pride told me to act like I didn't care. So I called him. I said, "Yes, let's get a divorce. I don't want to live like this anymore. I lived in hell." I thought he would say no. I thought he would beg, but he didn't. When we went to court, I wanted to make him pay. I told the judge that I wanted to take half of everything we had. I wanted to hurt him like he hurt me. But what he said broke me more than any words ever had. He stood up, looked at the judge, and said, "Give her everything. The house, the car, the money. I just want peace." In that moment, I felt so small. I wanted to run out of the room. I wanted to scream, but I just sat there. My heart was broken, not because I was losing a house or a man, but because I had destroyed my own marriage. With my own hands, my own mouth, and my own pride. That was in July 2009. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. After the divorce, I went back to my family. Everyone said I was brave. They said I did the right thing. My sisters told me I would find someone better. They said my life was just beginning. I smiled and laughed with them, but at night, I cried. My bed felt too big. My room felt cold. My heart felt empty. I didn't want to be alone, but I couldn't say it, not out loud. I thought he would come back. I thought he would call one day and say, "Let's start over." But weeks passed, then months. No calls, no messages. He was gone. He didn't look back. He moved on like I was never there. And that made the pain even worse. I looked strong outside, but I was breaking inside. I missed the sound of his voice. I missed the way he held our son. I missed the man I once laughed with. I kept waiting. I hoped he would miss me too. But one morning, I heard something that made me freeze. My friend called and said, "He's married again." I didn't believe her at first, but then I saw a photo online. There he was, in a new suit, with a new wife, smiling, holding her hand, the same hand that once held mine. My body felt weak. My heart started racing. I sat down and stared at the photo for hours. Everyone around me moved on. Even my sisters, who once cheered for my divorce, were now happily married. They had children. They had homes. They had husbands who loved them. And I was alone, still sleeping in my childhood bed, still eating my mother's food, still waiting for something that would never come. I became the joke in the family, the sister who had everything and lost it, the one who was warned but didn't listen. People started talking. Neighbors whispered when I walked past. Some of them laughed behind my back. She thought she was better than him. Now look at her. Wasted. My pride, the thing that made me leave, was now killing me slowly. I wanted to scream. I wanted to go back and change everything. But I couldn't. That door was closed. Forever. My son was the only light in my life. He looked like his father. He asked about him often. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to lie. But I also didn't want to tell him the truth. That his mother was the reason his father left. So I stayed quiet. I said, "Your father is busy." But he was not busy. He just didn't want to be part of my life anymore. He still sent money for our son. That money helped us survive. Without it, I would have had nothing. I started looking for work, but I had no real skills. I had spent most of my adult life being a wife. I thought that would be enough. I never planned for this. I went to interviews, but nobody wanted to hire me. I was too old, too slow, too unsure of myself. My confidence was gone. I was tired. I felt useless. Sometimes I walked past women who were younger than me. They wore nice clothes. They laughed with their partners. They looked happy. And I felt invisible, like I didn't matter, like I was already forgotten. And maybe I was. In my town, a divorced woman is not respected. People think she is broken. People think she must have done something wrong. And in my case, they were right. My own family began to treat me differently. My mother stopped asking how I was. My sisters stopped defending me. They said, "You had a good man." They said, "We tried to stop you." But back then, they were the loudest ones pushing me. They told me to leave. They told me to fight. Now they act like they always knew better. They sit with their husbands and joke about me. They call me proud. They say I was too difficult. They say I destroyed my own home. And maybe they're right. I started having dreams at night. In the dream, I was back in our house. He was sitting on the sofa. Our son was laughing. I was cooking in the kitchen. Everything was peaceful, and I was happy. But then I woke up. I saw the ceiling of my parents' house. I heard my sisters' voices in the next room, and I remembered the truth. He was gone. My home was gone, and my dream was just a dream. I thought about calling him. I picked up the phone many times, but I never pressed the button. What would I say? "I'm sorry. Please come back." No. I knew he wouldn't come. He had a new life now. A better life. Maybe his new wife didn't argue. Maybe she didn't pack her bags after every fight. Maybe she smiled when he got angry. Maybe she made him feel like a man again. And maybe that's all he ever wanted from me. I started writing letters. Not to him, just to myself. I wrote down my feelings, my regrets, my mistakes. I cried as I wrote. The pages got wet with my tears. I wanted to go back in time, to the day I said, "If you want to, you can divorce me." I wanted to grab that younger version of myself and tell her, "Don't say that. Don't push him. Don't listen to your pride. Don't walk away. Don't destroy your family." But no one can go back. You can only move forward. And for a long time, I didn't know how. I was stuck. Stuck in pain. Stuck in memories. Stuck in regret. Every day felt the same. Wake up. Pretend I'm fine. Take care of my son. Try not to cry. Go to sleep. Repeat. One day, I saw my ex-husband in town. He was holding hands with his new wife. They looked happy. They didn't see me. I stood behind a shop window and watched them. My hands shook. My legs felt weak. I wanted to run, but I couldn't move. I just stood there, watching the man I once called my own, now laughing with someone else. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling and whispered, "You lost him, Anna, and it's your fault." After that night, something changed in me. I stopped waiting. I stopped hoping. I finally accepted that he was not coming back. My marriage was over. My family was broken. And I had no one to blame except myself. The truth was heavy. It sat on my chest every morning. But I stopped running from it. I let the pain come. I let the tears fall. I let the memories break me. I started living differently. I stopped talking too much. I stopped telling everyone my problems. I stopped blaming my husband for everything. Because deep inside, I knew the truth. He wasn't perfect, but he tried. He shouted sometimes, but he never stopped working. He never stopped caring for our son. And even now, years later, he still sends money every month. He still remembers his child. And me? I am still stuck in the past, still depending on the man I hurt. My son is growing fast. He asks questions now. Mom, why don't you live with Dad? Mom, did you stop loving him? I never know what to say. I don't want to lie. But I don't want him to hate me either. So I just say, things didn't work out. He looks at me and nods. But I know he's still wondering. I see the sadness in his eyes. I see how much he misses his father. And it breaks me again. Sometimes I see couples in the park. The man holds the baby. The woman laughs beside him. And I wonder, why couldn't that be us? Why did I let one argument turn into war? Why didn't I stay calm? Why didn't I talk instead of shout? Why did I keep walking out every time I got angry? The answers come now. But it's too late. I had everything. A man who loved me. A son who needed a family. A home. And I gave it all away for nothing. I wanted to win. I wanted to be right. I wanted power. But what do I have now? Loneliness. Regret. A life I never wanted. And a heart that will never fully heal. I no longer listen to my sisters. The same people who told me to leave are the ones who now laugh at me. They have husbands. They have homes. They have peace. And I have silence. I hear them whisper. Anna was too proud. She pushed a good man away. Now she's alone. And they're right. I can't argue anymore. I can only listen. My parents are older now. My mother doesn't ask about my feelings. She just sighs when she sees me. My father looks away when people ask about my marriage. I brought shame to them. I didn't mean to, but I did. I was their first daughter. I was the one they were proud of. And now I am just a quiet shadow in their house. Every day I think of writing to him. Just to say sorry. Just to tell him that I finally understand. Not to get him back. Not to ask for love, but to give him peace. to give myself peace. But I haven't done it yet. I'm scared, not of his reply, but of the silence. What if he doesn't answer? What if he has truly moved on? What if I'm nothing but a name from his past? So I write this story instead, not just for myself, but for other women, for every wife who thinks walking away makes her strong, for every sister who gives advice without thinking of the pain it brings, for every girl who thinks pride is more important than peace. Please learn from me. Don't let your pride speak louder than your heart. Don't let anger destroy something beautiful. Don't leave just to prove a point. Don't talk to everyone about your problems. Don't let your family speak for you. Speak for yourself. Fight for your marriage if it's worth saving. If your husband is hurting you, then leave. If he is cruel, then protect yourself. But if he is just human, just angry sometimes, just tired sometimes, then try to stay. Try to talk. Try to listen. Because good men are not perfect. They will make mistakes, just like we do. I made my mistakes. And now I live with the result. I am not ashamed to say I was wrong. I said terrible things. I used pain to get what I wanted. I forgot how to love. I forgot how to forgive. I forgot that marriage needs patience. And now I am alone. And I don't want any woman to feel this pain. That's why I wrote this. To the woman reading this, please be wise. Listen to your heart. Not to people who don't sleep in your bed. Not to people who won't cry with you at night. You are the one who will feel the pain. So you must make the right choice. A strong woman knows when to speak, but she also knows when to stay silent. A wise woman knows when to walk away, but she also knows when to hold on. I didn't know these things before, but I know them now. I learned the hard way, through pain, through loss, through silence, through the eyes of my child who misses his father every day. I hope one day he will forgive me. I hope one day I will forgive myself too. This is my truth, my story, my lesson. I had a home. I had a husband. I had love, and I lost it, not because of him, but because of me. Thank you for reading. I hope this story helps you keep your home. I hope it saves one woman from making the same mistake. Please remember, pride won't keep you warm at night, but love, respect, and understanding just might.